Good afternoon and welcome to St. Newsfile. I'm Gavin Miller. Easton Ham will have a look at all the sports highlights later in the show. What can we expect, Easton?
Well, the Montreal Canadiens had their hands full last night, and we'll take a look at that, and also the Raptors preview for tonight.
Awesome. Liz Dang has been enjoying the sun today. How's it going out there, Liz?
Gavin, as you can see, we are having a beautiful day with a mix of cloud and sun, with a high of 12 degrees. One would wish to be around in 1926, when the high record was 28 degrees, and the low of minus 16 in 1966. We'll have more later on St. Newsfile.
Thanks, Liz. Now here's a look at today's top stories. The great weather this week will help Alberta farmers get the jump on planting. They are hoping for a very productive year for many reasons. As Mia Matushak reports, this year it's not just about profits.
I don't think we've had an inch of rain since July 2020. So it's really dry down here.
It's that time of year again for Alberta farmers to start plowing and seeding their land, but this year, new issues have arisen. Local farmers have been forced to cut back on necessary tools, slowing down crop production.
Coupled with how dry last year was and the profit we got off last year, this year is definitely cutting numbers. We're trying to be as budget friendly as we can so that we have the money there to be able to buy product, buy parts.
Seeding season is starting later than normal here in Alberta due to recent droughts, and additionally, on top of everything, wheat imports from Ukraine have been on the down low due to the war. Now, our Albertan farmers are needed more than ever before.
I feel bad for the countries that can't afford it, like the Indias and the Pakistans and the Iranians and stuff that import a lot of grain. They can't afford it, so people are going to starve.
Canada is the top producer of spring wheat, and there's big boots to fill to try and accommodate for the lack of those Ukrainian exports. Farming is often tedious and risky. Although this year presents issues, Ty says he's proud to be feeding fellow Canadians.
At the end of the day, to see the work you do grow and then move on to feed other people, it's very, very, what's that word? Fulfilling would be the word.
For St. Newsfile, I'm Mia Matushak.
Teen violence is surging across Alberta with multiple incidents of high school students being stabbed and shot over the past month. A teen was charged for aggravated assault and attempted murder after a 16-year-old student was stabbed at Pigeon Lake Regional School. This was not the only incident recently in the province. Near the end of last month, a student was shot and killed in Arbor Lake. In order to prevent this, teachers and families are working to become more informed about their children's mental health.
The first line of defense, obviously, is family. Do families recognize something unusual is happening with their kids? And then the second line of defense is schools. High schools and that teachers pick up an enormous amount of information just by dealing with kids in the schools. So.
He says the increased stress from the pandemic may play a factor, but isn't the whole story for this terrifying trend. Canadian Blood Services has been authorized by Health Canada to remove blood donation restrictions on men who have sex with other men. The decision comes following a thorough review of evidence and scientific experts supporting the change. Canadian Blood Services' new screening approach will be implemented by September 30th. Under new screening practices, potential donors will be asked if they have had new or multiple sexual partners in the last 3 months. The agency says asking about sexual behavior rather than sexual orientation will allow to more thoroughly assess risk of infections. Yesterday, Alberta Health Minister Jason Copping and the Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Dina Hinshaw, gave an update on COVID-19 in the province.
Vaccination remains the single most effective tool we have to reduce the risk of experiencing severe illness, hospitalization, and death. Even against the BA.2 variant, vaccines are effective at preventing these worst-case scenarios. That is why we continue to urge Albertans to get every dose they're eligible for.
During the conference, Copping said that transmission rates are slowing, but hospitalizations are up. Throughout the last week, there has been a slight rise in COVID hospitalizations and patients in intensive care. There were 6,592 new cases reported. The average positivity rate is at 25.7%. A new fuel source may be well on its way to becoming more mainstream. Alberta is working to become a global leader in hydrogen energy after holding its first ever hydrogen convention. Jaron Fisher has the details.
Processes, commercial and residential heating, power generation and storage, plus transportation are all sectors where hydrogen can either increase the role it already plays or offer a new alternative to support the larger effort to cut emissions.
The operator is the weight indicator.
Premier Kenney announced at the Hydrogen Convention the province is investing $50 million into a new hydrogen center of excellence. The world is working to move away from oil and gas and is using more renewable energy sources in its place. There are more electric cars on the road today than ever before, but it isn't a perfect solution.
Creating an infrastructure where people are plugging in every 300 kilometers is not a practical answer.
Adding hydrogen, a clean fuel, may be a fix.
If you can put hydrogen on board and they're able to now drive 1,000 kilometers or 800 kilometers or whatever distance, that's a different animal, and that gives that flexibility that today diesel and gasoline provide, but hydrogen ultimately would be the way to supersede them.
The big challenge is that hydrogen isn't all that cheap to produce and distribute. And right now, there aren't a lot of ways to get it from A to B. ATCO Gas has begun a project to add hydrogen to natural gas for heating homes, and CP Rail is creating a hydrogen-powered train they expect to be operational by the end of the year.
We have a growing renewable sector, in fact, the fastest growing in Canada, and that can support clean hydrogen production across the province through a number of different production methods.
Hydrogen is a clean source of energy that some believe will eventually replace oil and gas, but it will take time, effort, and resources to implement. For State Newsfile, I'm Jaron Fisher.
Canadian universities are preparing to welcome more international students coming fall semester. Canada can provide some of the best education and many opportunities that attract international students to further their educations. Many international students have studied from home for the past 2 years, but with all the restrictions lifted, they are heading to school. Despite the financial burden the international students are facing when they came here, still many more are willing to come abroad and further their education.
We are expecting more students coming in, hopefully, especially the travel restrictions are kind of easing right now. Yeah.
Canada welcomes students from 175 countries each year and attracts more than 450,000 students from around the world. The pandemic stopped many plans for students and instructors in SAIT's film program. Switching to online classes meant that students were missing the experience of being on production sites and using the industry equipment. Okel O'Leary reports on the return back to normal for this year's film festival.
2022 is ending off with a bang for SAIT's film and production students. This marks the first time since 2019 people could attend in-person screenings for what the students produced. The experience of organizing the event has been exciting for those who were affected by the pandemic.
It was pretty much a sink or swim sort of thing, but I think we really came together and really pulled through as a team to make this special for everybody.
Also trying to figure out how we would do like 60 students for like the first time doing it like in person.
Along with getting to see their work played on cinema screens, the ability to work closely with other classmates has helped build a connection within the group.
The 2 years have been crazy, especially with COVID, and despite all of the challenges and everything that's happened so far, I've had a really great time, especially with the people that I've met along the way, and I wouldn't trade this experience for anything.
Being restricted from accessing equipment made it tough for instructors to help students build their skills. Despite the setback, the journey from week one has been a learning experience for teachers in getting the class to work together during COVID restrictions.
Seeing them come full circle so that they can actually work as a group, get to know each other face to face, and
produce a product that they are proud to show in the theater. It's extremely gratifying, and for them, it's just the best thing in the world.
The SAIT film students brought their creative flair for their infomercials, music videos, and films for the final week of school. This serves as one last positive experience before graduating and heading out into the film industry to make box office hits. For SAIT Newsfile, I'm O'Kell Lurie.
Those are today's top stories. We'll have your full forecast after the break with Liz Dang. But first, Tia Leonard has a look at what's going on around Calgary this week.
Get ready to laugh with Alina Gabriel and her solo comedy show, Dirty 2.0. You can expect more crazy and weird dating stories. The show starts at 6:30. Fairy tales really do come true. The Alberta Ballet is closing off its season with Christopher Anderson's version of the classic Cinderella. Be swept into an enchanting world with beloved characters and villains alike. There are 6 shows left, and this is one you won't want to miss. The 60th annual CRLC Rock and Mineral Show is back. This year's show is a major fundraiser and is Calgary's only gem show operated by a nonprofit. Starting tonight, the show runs to Sunday. Join the youth singers of Calgary this Saturday for their annual gala. Enjoy a gourmet plated dinner, live entertainment, prizes, auctions, games, and plenty of drinks for those dance moves. Are you ready to listen to the Jailhouse Rock? Because the Voices of Legends multi-personality show is here in Calgary. Catered with a meal, you and the family can watch the show this Saturday at the Royal Canadian Legion.
As you can see, we're in the middle of spring, and the spring is always a rainy season. Always carry your umbrella whenever you're going out. Let's take a look at what's happening across the country. As you can see, there's high pressure almost everywhere, and in Vancouver you can see there's 11 degrees, but there will be a cold front coming from Vancouver. From Victoria, that will push that away, and it might experience rains. In Edmonton, there's a high of 12 degrees with a lot of sunshine. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the east. In the east, the condition is still pretty the same. In Toronto, we are having 10 degrees with a lot of sunshine. As you can see in St. John, there's a low of 4 degrees. That's because there's a cool front coming down from the south, pushing it away. Now let's go and see what's happening in the resorts. Palm Springs is having a very hot day with 31 degrees, and Barbados is pouring down with 29 degrees. In Cancun, there is high humidity, and that makes it really warm with 29. Honolulu is mostly cloudy and expecting rain by the end of the day. Orlando and Las Vegas are experiencing the same condition with 29 degrees and mostly sunny. In Calgary today, we are having a high of 12 degrees, and the condition is mostly cloudy. The wind is coming from northwest 16 km per hour. Tomorrow, we expect to have a sunshine. Let's take a look at what's happening in the province. The condition is pretty the same. There's high pressure almost everywhere. As you can see, in Grand Prairie, it's raining right now because there's a cold front coming from the west. That's why we are seeing some rain shower. In Edmonton, there's a high of 12 degrees because they're experiencing a high of high pressure. Now let's go and take a look at what's 5 days forecast. In Calgary today, we are having a high of 12 degrees. Tomorrow, we'll have the same weather. Moving toward the weekend, we are going to have a warm day. If you have been postponing your camping, it's time to reconsider them. Now, let's say Eastern Ham. We'll have a look at what's happening in the world of sport after the break.
When you donate to the Salvation Army, you're not just donating a coat, you're donating another warm night for someone that needs it. When you donate to the Salvation Army, you're giving someone hope. So why wait? Give hope today.
Come and learn the fast-paced world of television production. Find your passion to write, shoot, edit, and direct news, sports, and dramatic productions. With industry-standard technology and the best instructors in the business, SAIT's television production program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in broadcasting. This is television production. Come and dare to be on air.
Welcome back to SAIT Newsfile. Easton Ham joins us now for a look at the latest highlights. What can we expect, Easton?
Well, we're going to take a look at the Toronto Raptors game tonight. It's pretty exciting what they have going on right there. But first, let's take a look at some Canadian hockey. Although the Montreal Canadiens will not be in the postseason, they battled hard against the New York Rangers last night. With just over a minute left in the first period, Lagesson finds Paling sneaking out front for the first goal of the game. Great start for the Canadiens after a rough season. Heading into the second period, Patrick Nemeth gets the puck to Ryan Reeves, who shoots the puck, deflects off a skate, and in the back of the net for his 5th of the year. He doesn't score much, that's awesome. With only 10 seconds left to go in the second period, Petrie finds himself all alone and snipes short side on Georgiev. What a shot by Jeff Petrie. 5 minutes into the third, both teams have trouble controlling the puck in the neutral zone, leaving Frank Vetrano on a partial break, and he makes no mistake, tying the game at 2. On the penalty kill and down 1, the Rangers enter the offensive zone, and Barclay Goodrow finds Ryan Strome trailing. He takes a long shot and finds the back of the net. Game tied, 30 seconds left. Jeff Petrie snipes short side yet again, and the Canadiens would take the game by a score of 4-3. Jeff Petrie was the hero for the Canadiens last night, scoring 2 goals. With only 1 game left in the season for Montreal, they sit last in the NHL standings. Game 6 of the series between the Toronto Raptors and the Philadelphia 76ers takes place tonight. The Raptors are giving fans hope after knocking 2 games off the 0-3 comeback. If the Raptors can win tonight, they will force a Game 7, which would go down on Saturday. History would be made, as no team in NBA history has ever completed an 0-3 comeback. All-star guard Freddie VanVleet will not play tonight after leaving Game 3 with a hip injury. The Raptors game may be tonight, but Golden State Warriors dominated the Denver Nuggets last night. Steph Curry was showing his smooth handles in warm-up, and they definitely translated to the game. In the first quarter, Curry crossed up the Nuggets defender, stepped back, and drained his signature 3. Curry is known for hitting the threes and wasn't done there. In the third, off the pick and roll, Curry pulls up and puts the Warriors back within 1. Just look at this picture-perfect release. Curry is making sure fans get excited. Still in the third, Gary Payton finds himself all alone and drains the corner 3, giving Golden State the lead. 3 minutes into the left, Nikola Jokic drives and shoots over 2 defenders, making the 2-pointer. He then does it again, pulling up from mid-range, and he doesn't seem like he likes losing. And Curry had another idea, driving around all the defenders, making the layup, and taunting his opponents, making a sleeping gesture. The Warriors took the game by a score of 102-98. Steph Curry led the Warriors with 30 points, and Jokic put up 30 points of his own for the Nuggets. With the win, the Warriors move on to the second round. While courses and programs are coming to an end, the same can be said for the State Trojans. It has been quite an impressive season across the board for many State Trojans teams. The men's basketball team won their 5th straight ACAC title. In Esports, a new team just got established early this year and has seen a massive success so far. The potential for the team will only grow higher.
A new avenue to kind of compete and represent like a team in the school. I think the esports program will grow drastically.
This year was full of many accomplishments for many State Trojans teams. The teams are always looking for new ways to get better and will be back in full force next year. Summer is right around the corner, meaning the return of several outdoor sports leagues. The Canadian Football League is among those and arguably the most popular in the country. As Tanner Chuby reports, the Calgary Stampeders are ready to hit the ground running.
The Calgary Stampeders aren't letting their 2021 West semifinal loss to the Saskatchewan Roughriders get them down. A new season brings new ambition, with the return of what feels like a normal season.
We expect to get off to a fast start. We expect to play good football right from the get-go. We get a rookie camp, we get preseason games, we know more about our players, all positives for us. So yeah, we're still young, and that's a good thing because football's a young man's game.
The Stampeders were the youngest team in the league last year, but are still led by veteran stars like quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell, wide receiver Kamar Jordan, and kicker Renee Paradis.
The CFL season begins in just over a month on June 9th. There's only one game on the calendar that day, and it features the Montreal Alouettes visiting McMahon Stadium against the Calgary Stampeders.
Fans are growing excited as the home opener nears.
Stamps are taking it. They're taking it. It's an opener. The boys are ready.
they're taking it. Bye-bye, Alouettes.
They're going to have some new players coming in. They're going to have some, some guys coming back, and I think it's going to be exciting just to see how the two are going to meld and be able to put some good product onto the field.
The CFL announced new rules to help increase offense and game speed, the most impactful being the location of the hash marks moving closer to the middle of the field.
Nothing's ever easy in professional football, but I believe that it will be less difficult for the offenses to attack the wide side of the field.
I wish we focused more on what was good about the CFL and everybody wants to see certain things change. It's fine, but I think there's a lot of great things about our game.
For St. Newsfile, I'm Tanner Chuby.
The first round of the 2022 NFL Draft will go on tonight. Last year, the Jacksonville Jaguars selected Trevor Lawrence with the first overall pick in the draft. This year, the Jaguars happen to have the first pick again. The recent Super Bowl champs, the LA Rams, won't pick until the 104 spot. And that's a look at sports.
The entertainment world is buzzing today, but first... Oh damn. My bad.
I had my own car, great grades, everything in my life was going great till I ruined it all. Little did I know, this would be my greatest mistake. Drunk driving. Lawyer fees, disappointed parents, lost car, if only I listened.
Hey, you aren't good to drive home.
Friends don't let friends drink and drive.
Come and learn the breaking world of broadcast news. Find your passion to investigate, write, shoot, edit, and deliver the stories of the day. SAIT's broadcast news program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in radio and television. Become the next great anchor, reporter, or personality using industry standard technology alongside qualified instructors with years of experience. This is Broadcast News. Come and dare to be on air.
The entertainment world is buzzing today, but first we're going to start off with what's going on here in Calgary. Tia Leonard gives us a look at some of the fun. Tia, what's going on?
That's right, Gavin. An enchanting adventure awaits over the bridge and across the island. The 43rd Calgary Folk Music Festival returns to Princess Island Park this July. A full lineup of 70 artists from Alberta, Canada, and the world will grace this 4-day, family-friendly, cultural, and musical extravaganza. Take in concerts each evening with a mix of music genres. Early bird weekend passes and single-day tickets are on sale tomorrow. When looking for ways to enjoy this dance day, just listen to Lady Gaga and Just Dance. Tomorrow is International Dance Day and Springboard Performance is ready to celebrate. A mini networking event for emerging dance artists and On the Move 2022 participants. In partnership with Dancers' Studio West, guest dance artists Cindy Ansa and Tiara Matuson come together to enjoy the day over snacks, conversations, and dancing. Register today to join the fun. Canada's greatest honky tonk is back in the saddle. The iconic country nightclub and favorite Stampede hotspot comes back after being closed for the past 2 years. This weekend's events have already been sold out for country singer Aaron Goodwin and Gord Bamford. Next weekend's lineup has Tennessee whiskey singer Chris Stapleton and No Good singer Drew Gregory. So bring out those cowboy boots and Wranglers for this country bar's grand opening. What's wrapped in plastic and fantastic?
Hiya, Bobby.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go for a ride?
Sure, Ken.
Jump in.
Production has begun for Barbie, the live-action feature. In a new photo, title role, Margot Robbie stars as Barbie in her iconic pink sports car. But she's not the only A-lister set to appear in the film. Ryan Gosling is expected to portray Barbie's boyfriend Ken, and a handful of other stars are also expected to appear. Fans will need to wait until July 21, 2023 to watch the nostalgic flick. And that's it for the entertainment news. Back to you, Gavin.
Wow, I am sure excited to see Margot Robbie as Barbie. Thanks, Tia. The final day of the semester is upon us here at SAIT, and the RTBN class is preparing to head out into the world. As the class is looking towards the future, they are wondering what small pieces of advice they can take with them. Our own Brenna Doucette is reporting live from out front of Heritage Hall. Brenna, what advice are instructors giving the students?
That's right, Gavin. The graduating class of 2022 is preparing to do their last dance of the semester as they prepare to fly the nest. Instructors are giving them one last piece of advice for the road ahead.
Last piece of advice, like you haven't heard enough from us. As instructors, we all want to wish you the best, obviously.
The RTBN students have been through a lot these past 2 years at SAIT. After spending their first full year online, they finally spent a full year on campus. As they prepared to leave SAIT and exit into the industry, instructors in the program had some final pieces of advice to give them before they exit through the doors one last time.
I think I'll give you the advice that I give every graduating class, and that is always be open to every single opportunity. You never know what something is going to lead to. So if someone says, "Do you want to try this?" then you say, "Yeah, I'm going to try this."
Students have learned in their time here at SAIT that the instructors in the program are incredibly knowledgeable in their field and are always willing to lend a hand. Throughout the last 24 months at SAIT, the teachers have shared everything they know about this industry and what we will need to know moving forward.
Always have fun with it, right? It's just television. It's not brain surgery. Nobody ever dies because something goes wrong in television, and the reality is something's always going to go wrong in television. So you just have to learn to troubleshoot and be patient and just have fun with it, right? This is a fantastic industry.
More than anything, our instructors want us to learn and be prepared for whatever the world may throw at us.
Through osmosis, through everything that we have here at SAIT, be the person that you want to be. Be the best person, the best example of what you want to be, and that will carry you through life everywhere you go. Best of luck. We're going to miss you.
This graduating class of RTBNs has been through it all together these past 2 years, and without the help of the wonderful instructors here at SAIT, we would not be as prepared as we are for what's to come after graduation. On behalf of the graduating class of 2022, thank you Lisa, Laura, Shane, Lane, Sally, Beasley, and Richard for everything. Back to you, Gavin.
It was Brenna Doucette reporting from outside Heritage Hall. Well, guys, what was your favorite part about going to school here?
My favorite part, honestly, just meeting new people and kind of being forced to come out of my shell and just be more outgoing.
Nice.
My favorite is getting to learn all this that I've been dreaming for since when I was young. So when I see myself live here, I'm like, this is a dream come true. And now let's take a look at what's the 5-day forecast. Tonight we are having a high of 12 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have the same condition. Moving toward the weekend, we are going to have a warm weather. So it's time for you to go and take that walk, or you take your kids to playground.
Yeah, honestly, I might go for a walk because I haven't gone outside much. There's been a lot of schoolwork and it's really been a lot, so I haven't been outside that much.
It's that time to do that.
It's nice after all that snow that it's finally gone, hopefully for good.
Definitely.
Well, my favorite part about being here was meeting all you guys. But that's it for SAIT Newsfile. Thanks for watching. See you next time.